What's going on, Helmet Gang? We are back with the seventh episode of the Helmet Save Lives podcast here on YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. I'm so happy you're listening. Today is February 4th, Thursday, February 4th, 2021. Almost got it wrong there, but it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy year already. But yeah, this episode is going to be a special edition. I talked on my friend Noah's podcast, Monday Madness Sports Talk. I'm just going to use this week to kind of highlight his podcast, kind of give him some love. And also, I share a little bit different perspective on my accident and the whole movement on his podcast. So hope you guys enjoy.
Welcome back to Monday Madness Sports Talk. My name is Noah Festenstein here with our special guest of the day today. And it is a very familiar special guest. He's been on the Sports Talk program before. It is that of Ethan Densmore. Ethan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Noah. I am so happy to be here. It's been a long time, but I'm, like I said, hyped to be back in a little bit different circumstance.
Of course.
But yeah, always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, the last time Ethan was on was in April. He goes to DePaul, and he is one of the managers for the DePaul basketball team. And we had a great conversation back in April about DePaul basketball, but he's actually on the show for a much different and much bigger cause. Because since last time Ethan was on, a lot has happened for him. Ethan, You want to take the floor on that?
Of course, man. Why is my camera? Okay, here we go. So, my Zoom's like freaking out. Oh my God. But yeah, so similar to everyone else kind of, during quarantine, I was like, I need to kind of get something going. I was doing a whole bunch of lifting when I was at school, and just needed a way to kind of keep my legs strong, to stay active, get outside with some friends. So I got really into biking, really into road biking. And on July 19th, 2020, I was doing something called RAGBRAI. It's normally a ride across Iowa. You ride across like horizontally west to east, but it was being held virtually this year. So we're doing a ride from Elgin, which is kind of like pretty much where I'm from, up to McHenry and then back 62-mile round trip. And at about the 29, 30-ish mile mark, I hit one of those pylons where it like flips down, how like so cars can't like drive on the path or whatever, like just to make it like bikes and walkers only kind of.
Yeah. Is it the ceramic pylon you're talking about?
Yeah, it's like a metal with like the kind of like reflective tape all around it. Yeah.
And so how many miles an hour were you going?
I was probably going like 17, 18 at this point. I mean, it was through an intersection, but like we averaged right around there. So yeah, pretty quick. So I kind of like wasn't really locked in, paying attention too much. Totally my fault. Hit the pole. Flipped over my handlebars, landed on my face. Next thing I know, I'm like on the ground, just blood everywhere, and I'm just kind of in shock. And like obviously, my group called an ambulance, went to the hospital, and like pretty much where my whole thing starts is Helmet Save Lives, what it's called. Pretty much, obviously, bike wearing helmet, always have, always will. I got to the hospital, and the ER doctor was like, hey dude, like, so you know, your helmet saved your life. Like you could have easily had, because like when I first got there, I was part of like the trauma kind of, they had like the whole trauma team ready for me. Because like the ambulance calls it in, is that kind of thing. And then I had like a CT scan and it was completely clear, like nothing. And wow. She was like, yeah, like you could have easily had like much more severe stuff, traumatic brain injury, concussion, brain bleed, anything. But all I ended up suffering, I mean, I shouldn't say all I did, because it was still it was a lot there for about 2 months, but the main thing was I had my two front teeth broken. So they were kind of broken like a V, which was like pretty gnarly to look at, but it hurt after a while. So I had to get 2 root canals for those. I have crowns on them now. And I had like a gash for my sunglasses, which you can still see from a little bit on like the bridge of my nose. But yeah, besides that, man, I rode like 1,500 miles after that the rest of the summer, and pretty much started this thing to spread awareness of bike safety and try and use my story and be an advocate for change. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I love that. And just the fact that you're able to take something so traumatic in a way, you know, this is something that you started, you know, to become passionate for, was bike riding, and something as simple as a pylon off of an intersection can stop you in your tracks, especially for a few months. And you still maintain that passion for biking, which I kind of completely commend. And not even just that, you took all of this experience and made it into a really huge cause And that's the big reason why I have you on here today, Ethan, is because this cause you have is helmets save lives,
Yes, sir.
period.
Yep,
Helmet
that's it.
saves lives, not
That's it.
saves you from
No,
a traumatic injury, but it
no.
saves
Oh, like
lives.
3 words, like three. And like I gotta tell you, like I thought about it. So my mom works at the hospital, and like during all the COVID stuff, she would get kind of called in here and there. And I, I remember starting my Instagram. I was in the parking lot, like picking her up after work. It's like midnight, and I'm like, it's like end of July. I was like, I should like start something around this. And I just like made the Instagram. I didn't post anything for like a week, and then I was like, wait, though, this like domain, this name is like super dope. Like I should actually do something with this. Um, and then it kind of became like a personal like photo blog a little bit. I'd post like kind of bloodyish pictures. Because like that was the thing. Like after I crashed, like I have this selfie. I remember like standing up and taking a selfie right away, and just to kind of see like what I look like for myself, and also to kind of document. I had this whole like vlog, like
Yeah,
2 minute like the 2 minute vlog of me in the ambulance in the ER kind of going on. And it's cool because now I had all this content to just post and be like,
I
hey, like
remember. Yeah, I remember
yeah,
that day, and you
dude,
posting all that. I was like,
all of them, man.
was this dude in a car accident? Like
Yeah.
this? I mean, it just did not look like a good time for you. And yeah, I mean, you're saying you're talking about this so hypely, but in reality, it seemed very painful.
Oh, extremely
and
painful.
and like, what was that experience like for you personally? And I know we're going to get into your helmet saves lives cause in a
Sure.
very short while, but for you personally, what was this experience like, and what have you taken out of it?
Yeah, great question. So, um, I like hate hospitals. I hate doctors. I hate needles. All that kind of stuff. Like growing up, I had several kidney surgeries when I was like 1, 2 years old. So I kind of had that like subconscious. I mean, even also I mean, I feel like needles are kind of like a natural fear for a lot of people. But so I remember like one of my first things I was like, oh my God, I have to go to the hospital for this. And like that was like my first thing came in my head. It wasn't even like, how's my bike? How's my teeth? It was like, I have to go to the hospital now. Like, no way. Um, I mean, and it was hard because they obviously kind of like put numbing stuff when they put the stitches in, but after the fact, like I could barely talk for like a week. Like my mouth, like my lips were so swollen, like my gums were so swollen, like my teeth hurt, like my face hurt. I like couldn't laugh. I love comedy. I love smiling. I couldn't do any of that. And then like, what was the thing? Like, what did it teach me? Sorry, I
Oh
kind of
yeah, so like,
I was focused on the first part.
oh no, you're good, you're good. And based on all of that, pain you had to go through and physical changes, how did that affect you mentally?
Yeah, I think it definitely kind of I think that's kind of what really founded like the created the foundation for this thing. Is like I kind of showed myself that I could come back from something so unexpected, unprecedented, and just kind of just get back on top. Like I feel like I was just starting to peak in my just biking fitness, like my overall like biking ability, and then I like didn't ride for probably like a month, 3 weeks, a month, until I mean, like the beginning of August, and then after that, I I guess it's kind of cliche, like oh, it's like my like comeback story, like my bounce back, whatever. But I mean, in a way, it was because I feel like I kind of had to prove to myself that like I still had it, and that I wouldn't let this pole that shouldn't have been there stop me, you know. So
That's awesome. Yeah, and you take a lot out of that, and you take in the experience that you had with that, and like I said, make it into a much bigger cause in that helmet saves lives. What was your appreciation for helmets before this all happened? Obviously you wore them because you're biking
yeah,
such a long distance, but have you ever interpreted how important helmets were until
nah,
this all happened?
of course not. I mean, obviously, I always wore one, and I was raised to. I mean, I look back at pictures, that I mean, most of them I posted at this point, but like my first time riding a bike on training wheels, I was in our basement that was unfinished at the time, and I had a helmet on. I feel like, um, I don't know, to the appreciation. I mean, I think that's kind of like my like purpose here is like helmets aren't really like a big emphasis, but yet they should be second nature to most people.
Right, exactly. Because people get asked at the doctors. I remember when I was at the doctors, the
Really?
like, "Hey, so you bike, right? And I'm like, yeah. Do you wear helmets? Yeah,
Yeah.
but I really didn't.
No, come on, man.
Come on, man. I don't wear a helmet.
Yeah.
But now I look back at myself when I said that, I'm like, well, yes, as much as I didn't get into an accident, what if I did?
Exactly.
And that
That's it.
emphasis
That's
is
the thing.
what if? What if?
Exactly. So like I think like to show that me as an experienced biker, like I mean, yeah, like my chances are like lower of falling, but um it happened to me. Like it could happen any time. Like I was just like on a casual Sunday morning ride. I mean, yeah, it had rained. It had rained a little bit earlier, but just a casual ride, and then I and then everything changed. I mean, you never know. You really never know. So
Okay, so let's talk more about the situation, like what happened at the scene, because I know it was a little it's a little tough looking
yeah,
back at it, and I know you're very open about it, so I'd like to know more about the experience here, because
yeah.
you hit the pole, and what do you remember after that in terms of like your shock, like what was that in detail,
Yeah.
and how did that, and like your realization you had to go to the hospital because you don't like going to hospitals.
Yeah. So I remember initially, um, like like my whole face just hurt. I remember just like feeling, and then I could like feel like the. I mean, this is gonna get like really graphic. Hopefully that's okay. Like I could just like feel the blood like pulsing from my face, just like feel it, just like just like beating from my gums, from my teeth. And I was just like laying on my right side, and then like my group I was with like had like water bottles, and they were trying to just squeeze water into my mouth just so I wasn't like swallowing or choking on the blood, because I was just kind of like laying there still. I remember just shaking and just kind of being I guess like kind of like when you like see butterflies, that kind of thing, just totally shocked. And then I remember like they came, like the paramedics came really fast. Like within, I think I felt like 9:55 or something like that. And I felt like I was in the ambulance by like 10:10 or something like that.
That's impressive.
It was so fast. And we were on just this like random stretch um, in McHenry. And yeah, it was really, uh,
So for the people who were with you that day, did they talk to you about what it was like for them
yeah.
in helping you through the situation?
Yeah. So I was riding with one of my high school friends, Nathaniel, one of my close friends. Him and I pretty much rode all summer together. He rode like way more than I did, partially because he didn't sit out for several weeks. But yeah, he was there. His younger brother was also there. His dad was there. His uncle was there, and then a few other like friends in the group. And his brother actually didn't ride pretty much like for like the rest of summer after that day, like because he's 16, and it just shocked him. Like it just shook him up. He just like couldn't ride
Wow.
after that. And like that same day, like because it had kind of drizzled in the morning, there's like wood bridges on like the like bike path, and like like he actually had fallen on like one of those bridges too, like just small spill, got up, kind of like a little scrape on the arm, but yeah, that kind of just did it for him. And he did a few small rides after that end of the summer, but I mean, yeah, that's just it shows what like being a witness to like a trauma like that can really
That's
do to you. So,
insane.
yeah.
Wow. So what was it like going back on the bike? And the first time after all this, well, how long did it take for you to get back on the bike? How many months?
Well, so as a fitness guy yourself, I'm sure you kind of track at times. You kind of track your progress, your fitness or stuff. So there's a big app called Strava. You may have heard of it for running, biking, swimming. It's like the main things.
Strava, Strava.
Yeah, it's like an orange logo.
Okay.
Um, and then you can do other like track and stuff on there, but it's mainly for biking and running. And like it's kind of like this kind of weekly kind of, you can set goals, kind of like a competition. There's like different segments you can kind of race people to see who's like the fastest in your area.
Okay.
And I kind of want to keep up my streak. So I actually rode. So I fell on the Sunday. I rode on the following Saturday. I rode like
You rode
one,
6 days later.
Yeah, 6 days later. But like small ride. It was like one
I
point.
assumed months, by the
Dude, no,
way.
no, no. I mean, but okay, it was that day, and then I didn't ride for like another week or so. And it's like 1 2 mile rides. It's really like in my neighborhood, small, slow loop, like shaky, like just like oh my god, like will I ever like ride as fast the same again? Like I
So
have
all
these like
these thoughts are racing through your mind, like,
yeah,
am I ever gonna ride this fast again? Or
yeah.
what was that experience like riding those 2 miles and like the first miles, you coming back from this, even during your recovery process, and how are you so motivated to do it so soon?
I I don't know. I think the biggest thing is I kind of thought to myself that if I kind of continued and if I tried to not like act like nothing happened, but if I kind of tried to like stick with it a little bit, that like my brain wouldn't get out of it because I guess I like thought that if I like went long enough without doing it, then I'd be like, oh, it's been a month, it's been 2 months, like I kind of be in that like would have gotten comfortable not doing it, I guess, if that makes sense. Um, so yeah, I don't know. And then we actually did the same ride. So this is a kind of cool little like soliloquy thing. So we did the same ride. So this thing called a Grand Fondo, which is like a like European century ride. So 100 kilometers or 62.13 miles, whatever.
Yeah, sounds
Um,
about right.
it's like the ride that we are doing. So like they have like a monthly achievement on the app. So we are doing. So I fell in July. We actually did the August Grand Fondo, and did the same ride again. And like part of the purpose was I wanted to kind of prove to myself I could do it. I also had just got my crowns put in, so that was kind of a little confidence booster. I got like a new like really nice helmet, and we actually signed the like the pylon thing. So like in Sharpie, I have my like signature. I wrote Helmet Save Lives. I wrote July 19th, 2020. So like the if you if you go to this poll, you'll see that like my name's on there, and like it still has like the like scrapes from my bike, like the reflective tape was all like chewed up kind of when I
So
crashed
would you
into it.
consider that one of your prized possessions?
I do. I may have to find a way to
And
make that in my possession someday. We'll see. I don't know.
put it in like
Yeah.
a glass case,
Yeah.
like a trophy
Exactly.
case. But so that's really cool. And
Yeah.
so you have gone through all of this, and you're so motivated to the fact that you started a very good cause. You just created an Instagram page. What's the exact tag for it?
So it's called Helmets Save Lives. I'm also on TikTok as of the end of 2020, which is blowing
Okay.
up. If I'm at plug, I of course, obviously we're plugging here, you know.
Oh no, keep it up.
Yeah. So I actually got super into TikTok. I like in like my own like personal like kind of meme page. It did pretty well. And then I figured I might as well. I waited so long to put my helmets page on there. And then December 30th, I posted my first video. As of now, I'm at like 2.6K followers on TikTok, which is like super dope because like I felt like the Instagram is more for like I mean like obviously it's a lot harder to grow on the Instagram. Like it's a little bit slower process where TikTok, if you have like one video do decently well, you can get like a few hundred
Well,
followers.
yeah, if it gets passed around, people are gonna naturally
Yeah.
follow you. Yeah.
So obviously, but like you said, so started the Instagram, and initially I was just doing kind of posts like I had the pictures I'd taken, and after a while it was kind of like memes. I made like the Bernie Sanders meme, like I'm once again asking you to wear a helmet, like when he had this little uh like ad early on, or like pictures of just different like pros. Like it was also like when the Tour de France was happening, which is something I followed pretty closely. So I would like repost like crash videos from that, and it'd be like, hey, like see this pros wearing helmets, like this is why they wear helmets. Um, and then after a while, I just kind of continued into more just talking about like covering different articles. Like dude, like you'd be surprised. There's articles out there like, here's why you shouldn't wear a helmet. I'm like really? Come on, man. Like there's actual like blogs and people like uh putting content out there for that kind of stuff. So I just kind of like share my thoughts on that. Um, but yeah, it's been great. And like my goal is to no, go ahead. Actually, here I'll like this. I'll save that for like a separate question.
Yeah, like a goal. I mean, Yeah, goals are its own separate thing, especially moving forward, and especially since spring's right around the corner.
Coming up, man.
Yeah, so you're gonna start riding soon, and we can't now because snowstorms are happening left and
Exactly.
right.
Yep.
So, do you wait? Do you have like a Peloton or something? To keep
Uh,
you busy?
I have my bike on a trainer right next to me
Oh,
actually.
that's how to do it. That is how to do it. Because my mom
Yeah.
just recently got a Peloton, and yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
those are
she loves it.
that's some next level stuff, man. That's
Yeah. Since she does not want to go to the gym, which I don't even go either. I do home workouts.
no way. No way.
Yeah, it's tough. And
Yeah,
so just the fact that like we can find alternatives other than, riding outside, riding at the gym, is being able to work out at home. So that's very important.
of
And
course.
doing that at home, is that like really helps you just stay in shape and stay motivated?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot harder than riding outside, especially when you're. I mean, I'm in the basement right now, obviously, so kind of confined. It can be really hot. It can be there's not much change of landscape, obviously. So I kind of just throw on some Netflix or some I don't know some Twitch, watch some people play some games. But it's really hard, and I'll admit I've been less on it than I hoped I would be, especially I mean I my goal is to kind of maintain my fitness level and try and go into the spring being like I'm just gonna pound the trainer, I'm just gonna ride all the time. But it's hard. It's hard to want to hop on. And you got class and other. I mean, yeah, I'm
You
still in
can't. You can.
college,
I mean,
Noah. Yeah,
yes, you are.
yeah.
But you
So
could go on the bike and Zoom
it could
class on the
totally
bike.
could. Yeah, you
You can find
could.
a you can find a way. You
Could.
get called on in class, and you're just like going through.
Yeah, B. Like wait, what? Like what? I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
That's so funny. So yeah, so go on Instagram, follow Helmet Saves Lives. There's two S's after between helmets and saves, just
No,
to be
no,
clear.
save. No, helmets save lives.
Save lives,
Yeah,
not
helmets.
saves plural. Save lives. Yes, I'll make sure to
It should
post it.
be
It'll be on the show description
perfect.
once you guys so you guys can be able to follow and of
Yeah.
course support the cause. What have you gotten out of this cause in terms of like not just like you didn't July 19th was a day that changed your life,
Yeah.
and this cause has now, I would say, exponentially skyrocketed. We were just talking about goals. Now we can talk about goals with the cause. Is what do you want to see out of it going
Dude,
forward?
cool. So for the longest time, my goal was to do like sports marketing or to work for like a front office for a sports team. And after this past summer, I really kind of reflected. I was like, that'd be dope. I mean, I'm still studying sports communication. But my goal would be to work for a like bike company. There's like there's a bunch of big American companies like Trek, Giant, Schwinn, Bell, any of those, Giro, like huge companies. And I actually have gotten like recognition from them, like either whether it's like following me on Instagram or following me on TikTok, like people are starting to notice. I'm actually in the process of trying to finish up some job apps and resumes, cover letters, all that stuff. I think it'd be dope if like one of these companies like picked it up or like I guess like bought it from me in a sense, um, or I could just kind of like start or like transition to work for them and be like take over as the lead of this kind of thing. I don't know. I see this being like some just like next level like movement where like at either at races or like I said, either like a company makes it their own. Um, I I I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like this helmets issue
Yeah,
is more of a recreational issue because you're talking to people who might not be racing, but you're talking also to kids on the street who
yeah,
ride down on the roads, not the sidewalks, the roads without a
yeah.
helmet on.
Everybody does it, man.
So like, how would you think that you can reach those younger kids who really essentially going through brain development is more important to wear a helmet? It's always important, always, but
Yeah, of
like it's more vital for kids and teenagers to be wearing a helmet when they ride a bike.
course. And that's been a big focus on my TikTok. It's been like I could obviously go to someone's video and be like, hey dude, like where's your helmet? Like what the heck? Or like my goal has been to be more like encouraging and positive. Like I guess like sort of use my experience, but also be like, hey man, I think like even though you think like having a helmet isn't cool and it feels dumb and like looks stupid, but also like hey like here's what could happen and like you're obviously still young. Like I want to see you make smart decisions, kind of just more like that positive spin on
Of
it.
course.
Just so that people don't feel, and like, I obviously, like, it's it's like it is everyone's choice to, or to not wear a helmet, but I obviously think that it's smart and you should, but you obviously can't make anybody. So
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I was definitely a very bad kid when it comes to that. I was very bad
yeah,
at not wearing my helmet. And I mean,
I forgive
do
you.
you
No, it's
think
okay.
that even not just biking, I also skate and I don't wear a helmet when I skate because, yeah, I should maybe do better about that.
Uh,
But,
but
but, with skating, do you think this can also apply to skating and
everything,
yeah,
everything.
everything?
And that's where, like, it's been pretty cool. So Instagram, I have like a lot of like cyclists around the world follow me. A lot of Asian followers, a lot of South American followers. But my TikTok it's a lot of like European and like American, like kids who do like mountain biking and BMX, which is like surprising to me because, like, I mean, I guess if you think about it, like biking videos on TikTok won't be that cool as opposed to like someone doing like a cool mountain bike dirt jump or something like that. And like it's been surprising how many people actually, obviously with the amount of followers and the amount of likes and stuff, like how many people are willing to kind of hop on the bandwagon and accept it. But kind of on your point, it should be. I think it should be a thing across, like, anything you're doing on wheels or anytime you're riding something. If it's a tricycle, if it's a skateboard, if it's a
A
motorcycle,
scooter in Chicago?
yeah, like all those bird scooters. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't even think those should
100%.
exist in Chicago.
Oh, they're so dangerous, man. I mean, like they're fun. I've tried them, but they're so dangerous.
That's not worth the fun and the convenience is not
No,
worth it at
no,
all.
no,
Yeah, it because people there's no like people aren't going to bring their helmets with them to ride a bike or ride
no.
a scooter like that, especially in a city where there's a ton of traffic.
Yeah,
I think that's really important. And to that point, maybe your cause can lead to maybe bills or laws that could be made to
yeah,
make helmets, you know,
yeah.
mandatory for that
Like
matter, for
yeah,
anything.
yeah, and just like make them more of a priority. And like I said, um, I think it's just like such an easy argument in my eyes to say, like most people I would think like drive wearing a seatbelt. So like, why would you bike not wearing a helmet? Or like, why would you? I mean, I guess nowadays, like the example was like, why would you why would you go to Target like not wearing a mask? Like they pretty much like everyone wears a mask now. Like why can't you like wear a helmet? It's just like it's just all these like things that should like kind of go like put two and two together, but people just don't. And yeah.
Do you think it's a matter of being lazy or just being ignorant to the fact? Like, what do you think is the most biggest
Both.
issue? Yeah, but naturally both. But what is like the biggest issue as to the reason why people don't want to wear helmets?
Uh, I think that they think they look dumb, and that they think that I mean, I think you can definitely find a cool helmet that looks dope. I think I have a pretty awesome like all white road bike helmet that I love to wear, and I mean obviously I'm the helmet guy, but I think it has to do with that. I think people are embarrassed. I think when you talk about kids, I know like I remember growing up and like my neighbors across the street, like we kind of like bike around this loop in our neighborhood, and I remember like kind of being confused, like wait, like how come those guys are wearing helmets? And then I remember like not being bullied in a sense, but kind of being like, wait, like how come you guys are wearing helmets? And it's just like this like debate that like kids just feel pressured almost by their friends just to not wear a helmet at that point.
That's wow.
It's
Yeah,
sad.
it's manipulative in a
Yeah,
way, and
100%.
you can utilize this cause to make it otherwise.
That's the
And that's
thing,
why I
man.
say, putting laws into effect, putting signs up at skate parks saying no helmets, no entry,
Yeah,
so to speak. Like
something like that, man.
that's important.
Yeah.
And I'm, because of you and you've inspired me, and I would hope anybody who's listening to wear a helmet. And what do you want to say to these people to inspire? Like, what is your like your headline, so to speak, for people to get inspired to wear helmets?
I think that another thing that people don't realize is that if you can afford a bike, you can afford a helmet. Like you can get a bare bones helmet. My helmet that I crashed wearing was probably a $30 helmet, $25 helmet. It was a very bottom line, like not much technology, just a plain foam helmet. So yeah, I guess there's pretty much that. there's something else I'm gonna say that I cut myself off on. But yeah, just your helmet is a investment in your life. Like you have only one head, you have only one life. Like you can easily like crack a helmet and buy another one. Like that's what happened to mine. And you obviously only have, yeah, that's it. So
Yeah,
helmets save
basically.
lives. Just wear a helmet. Like there's no debate, there's no excuses. Just wear a helmet. That's it.
Agree, 100%. It's a very simple thing that people don't even think about, especially twice, just jumping on a bike or going on a skateboard for that matter.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty inspirational. And for you to come from what happened on July 19th to get to where you are today, it's pretty remarkable.
Thanks, man.
I'm quite like I said, inspired, but also now more motivated to get on a bike and do and now like biking around with a helmet on. Do you feel more empowered?
100%.
It makes you feel a specific way.
So so confident, so like protected. I mean, and I think that's the thing. Like technology in helmets is like evolving. There's all kinds of different like nettings, all kinds of different foams, like different materials that I mean, like you can get helmets that are several $100s. Where I feel like years ago people would just use. I mean, like even football, just like leather as a helmet. But now you see like a few decades later, we just have these state of the art, just crazy helmets. So yeah,
Wow.
it's evolving, man.
Heck yeah, man. Awesome. So if you guys want to follow the cause on Instagram, it is Helmets Save Lives.
Same thing on TikTok. Helmets save lives.
Exactly. So follow that on TikTok, follow that on Instagram. It's very, very inspirational stuff by Ethan. Scroll down and you'll be able to see the more details of the story. It's quite remarkable, and I cannot commend you any further about the experience you went through. Is quite remarkable, I have to say. Of course. So while we're on the topic of biking, what's your favorite biking event? Like, I know the Tour de France, there's some events, triathlon events. Like,
yeah.
What makes you motivated in terms of like, what kind of events make you motivated to want to compete more?
Dude, I have a perfect example. So, something that my dad and I have done is called Bike MS. It's been held in kind of by what's it like the St. Charles area, like Geneva area.
That's a good area.
And it's basically this event for multiple sclerosis where like they raise like they have like rides nationwide and they raise like millions and millions of dollars for research for multiple sclerosis. And like people who haven't like ride and this jersey is from it. My dad and I were part of this corporate team for one of his like his close friends from college. And they do like 15, 35, 50, 75 and 100-mile rides. So I watched it for a few years. There's probably maybe 4,000 riders at it. It's in June every year. Like I think you have to raise like a few $100s for it. I mean, which is like, I mean, that's kind of like, that's expected. And it's just such a great event. It just basically celebrating that people can ride and that, and everyone else who doesn't have MS is like just kind of highlighting this, just a bigger purpose beyond just a ride. So I've done 200-mile rides through that. I've done a few 75-mile rides. So it's a whole all day thing. So, but besides that, I mean, I guess on like a bigger scale, like Tour de France, like Giro d'Italia, there's a lot of cool other like world.
Who's your favorite biker?
Guy named Wout van Aert. He's a guy from Belgium.
Ooh, gotta love them Belgian riders, them Belgian athletes. Yeah, they're on another level. People underestimate Belgian athletes.
They're so fast, dude. It's just having so many waffles, man. They just like pound the waffles and just like syrup.
That's the motivation. You
man.
get a nice fresh stack of fluffy waffles at the end of each race.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the motivation. You want to know why Belgium riders are so fast? You get some nice waffles at the end.
Also have great beers too, the Belgian beer.
I don't think you drink beer while you bike.
No,
I don't think that's a smart idea.
After that.
Nah, I can only imagine. Wow. But today it was all about biking and wearing your helmet, no matter, even without biking,
Yeah.
anything that you do on wheels, anything that you
Yeah.
do that puts you at risk of injury, helmets are always the best idea.
100%.
100%.
Yes,
Ethan,
sir.
is there anything else you would like to tell the listener in regards to biking, life? Have at it.
Yeah, I guess just try and be positive. I mean, I was dealt like the hardest hand in my life, at least since I've been like kind of just able to kind of like remember. And I think just being able to, even though I couldn't really smile big for a while, for a few weeks, and didn't have much of a smile with my teeth, just staying positive and try my best to persevere. And I think make the best out of it with my, with what I've been doing recently. So, um, yeah, there you go.
Well, your smile, I don't think has gotten any bigger than I've seen it since.
Thanks.
So you're doing a really nice job. Really coming out of it stronger than you were before. And I think the big picture is through these hard times, we can really prevail at the end and learn something from it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I totally agree, man. Well said.
So this has been Ethan Densmore with Helmets Save Lives. Follow
Yes,
it. I'll post all of the social media information, including the TikTok and Instagram page, in the description below.
YouTube, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud.
Yep,
Wherever.
podcasts, even ever. Of course, love to hear it, and all the best for you, Ethan. I really, really enjoy what you do, and for your cause, I think it's going to help a lot of people, and it's helped me first and foremost, and I hope to spread the word to everyone else who I think could really benefit from your cause.
I'm happy to hear that, man. That's incredible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Noah.
Of course, man. Much love, and thank you for stopping on.
Always, always. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, no problem.
So there you have it. That was my episode. I was featured on the Monday Morning Sports Talk podcast with my friend Noah. I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed filming that, recording that with him. We'll be back next week with another usual podcast, some more banger videos, and a whole bunch of TikTok, Instagram content as well. Thank you so much, Helmet Gang. Make sure to always wear a helmet. Helmets save lives. Love you all.